Hello everyone, today I am going to work on this top left corner notifications. So this is some example notifications just for testing. So I am going to integrate them into the conversation. So just like here, as the character have any conversation and based on the choices character select, we should see some changes such as -10 confidence or +10 confidence or any other character properties. So those are that this notification system will be used for that. And this episode is sponsored by this generous patron. Thank you very much for your support. Right, so according to this the conversation we have with each character based on the choices we make, there are these properties, so qualities of the state of the character, things like confidence and, well, at the moment only confidence, but there are other properties that this character can have, and I need a way to show that change in confidence or whatever the character's properties, play a property as we make choices. And I'm planning to make it like a pop-up in the top right corner, because at the moment in inventory we have, so maybe in the top left corner. We can make it like a pop-up notification that appears over here. Right, so where should we add that? Let's see what are the widgets we have at the moment. Widget choices, widget tips. Right, let's go to widget tips. Right here, let's add another text in the top left corner. We need a border for that as well. Let's make a copy and paste. Right, let's anchor this to the top left corner. X like this. Maybe 20. Okay, maybe a bit larger, 50. Right, and I'll remove the default text, or leaving that there would be also fine. So here I'll just add an example. 10% minus 10%. Oh, percentage should come later. Confidence. Right, and if it is a positive change, it should be green, otherwise it should be red. So here, can we change the color? No, we can't change color because it is based on this style set. So what we can do is we can change the color of this border. Like this. Right, so I'll leave it at green for the moment. As an example. Oh, then it should be positive actually. Right, so how do we dynamically make this appear and disappear? And how do we do that for this one? Yeah, we have an animation for the show tip. I'll rename this instead of show tip. Yeah, let's keep it show tip. For this one, let's use a name like show top left tip, something like that. So anyway, we are using this animation to make it appear and disappear. Oh, it affects both. That's a problem. Because here I am changing the render opacity of the canvas panel. So we should be able to independently change the render opacity of the middle tip for the mid and this top one independently. So top left, top left. Right, so what we can do is what if I change the opacity of this one? Oh, it only affects the content. Right, then brush color. Okay, that also need to change. Let's create an animation. So here, actually in the beginning, let's make this border alpha value. Wait, let's remove this so nothing happens. Right, now here fade in, I'll rename this mid tip. Initially this border, the border in the middle, alpha value should be 0. Add a key, and the content alpha value also should be 0. Add a key. Right, and here this one should be 1. Add a key, and this one should be 0.5. Add a key. Right, now we have the same effect as before, but this one doesn't change. This one is not affected by that. Right, what's next? We get 10% confidence. Now we need to create a new animation to fade in the top left tip. So let's create an animation for that. Border left. So in the mid left, what we have changed is just the content color and text color. So here also let's do the same. Initially the color alpha should be 0 and content alpha also needs to be 0. Let's add a key here, and in 0.5 seconds this should be 1. The alpha of content and the color of the border alpha 0.5. Right, now we have the same effect just like in the middle tip. It can appear and disappear. Now what we have to do is creating an event to show the left tip. For that, before that we should make this hidden by default. The reason is, like, when we want to show some middle tips, this one, the top left, whatever the tip we have in the top left, should not be there. So it should be hidden by default, and it should be visible only if we call the relevant function that shows any top left corner notifications, so pop-ups. This one also needs to be hidden. Similarly, when we try to show something in the top left, we shouldn't see anything in the middle. So we can make it visible in the show tip. In the beginning we can make it visible, and at the end we can make it hidden again once it is faded out. So we need to make these borders variables so then we can access them from the code. Right, now I can access them. Border mid, let's set it visible in the beginning and hidden at the end. So after this fading out animation is played, so we need a delay before setting it hidden again. So for the delay we need to have the duration of animation. How can we get the fade this animation's duration? No, we don't have any duration variable here. Let's see, no duration. What else? Time, length, time. Right, we have this end time. Let's try that. That should work. Here let's add retriggerable delay, just in case this is called twice, just to be safe. I'm not sure. Everything is working as before. Now let's work on a new event to show top left tips. Custom event, show top left tips, and we need the same parameters, a string parameter for the tips, tip, and duration to define how long it should be there. This should be a float. And also default, let's set 1. Right, we can copy the same part here, but initially we need to make sure that we have set the visibility of top left border to visible color as well, because we need to set the color based on negative or positive. Positive values are green, negative are red. So here's the default value. Let's set green. G1. And the rest we have to make this visible. Visibility. visible. Right. Let's duplicate the same part and plug relevant objects. So here we are using text top left. That should be the reference, and text is passed as the parameter. Let's connect it. And next, animation. Duration, yeah, here. Animation. Let's replace this mid-tip animation with the animation top left tip. Fade in top left tip. Can you replace? No. Right. That's all, I think. Shall we test? Actually, we have to call the function to test it, but here we have this short tip defined in the VPI HUD and implemented in the HUD blueprint. So let's add another event or function, show top left tip. Here we need the same parameters as in this function: tip, duration, and color and opacity. We don't need in. This should be now. Let me copy that. Let's add tip, string, and duration, float, default 1, and the color, content color and opacity. This should be linear color. Default green, G1 alpha 1. Okay. Now we need to implement that function in 𝐂𝐚𝐧𝐽 HUD. So where have we implemented show tip? Here. No, right here. So we can copy the same thing. Actually, the initial part, what it does is make sure that there is a tip object. If not, create one. So let's collapse this to a macro so we can reuse it. As tip. As tip widget, right? Now let's copy this part. Let's implement that function show left. Oh, need to implement, not call it. This one. Right. Let's paste. Okay, now let's connect. Here we should call show top left tip instead of show tip. Connect duration, connect tip, and color. That's all. I think that's all. Let's try this. Let's add a test case here in the event, the level blueprint, just like these show tip events. Where let's add a sequence here. Use this part. So instead of, let's have 2-second delay, and instead of this show tip, let's use show left tip. Oh, that's not the one. Show left tip. So as an example, let's use plus 10% confidence. Default color is fine. And another one after a delay of -3 seconds. -10 confidence. Color should be red. Shall we try this? It appeared, but not exactly the way I expected. What's wrong? Let's check. Let's disconnect this and see, just because I have a part where I remove. Oh, that should not be. Yeah, here I remove from here. Maybe this affects the visible time of the tip. Let's test again. Not quite right. What's wrong? The length is fine. I have connected everything. Where is show left tip? This is show tip. Let's increase the duration and see. No. something must have left unconnected, I guess. Right. Here I should connect it to duration. Now it should work. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Working as intended. So yeah, as the next step, when I have a conversation with the NPC character, as I select my choices, the confidence level changes and other property changes should appear dynamically. That's the next part I want to work on, and we will look into that in the next episode. Right. So as always, project files will be available for the download. Link would be in the description below, and if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon Club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.